This woman attempted to go undercover at an insane asylum, but little did she know that this would end up being the biggest mistake of her life. This is the story of Nellie Bly and the horrors that these women experienced in the late 1800s when most of them were not even insane. This is only the short version. If you'd like to hear the full video, check out the tube in my bio. As soon as she got onto Blackwell Island and got inside the doors of the insane asylum and the doors bolted shut behind her, Nellie started to feel this sense of infinite dread, and the smells of the place were horrible. Every hallway just had this disgusting stench. Nellie was taken down to her bed. She was forced to lay down on her bed in only a shift. The bedroom consisted of a twin bed with one sheet and a pillow and a barred window, and that was it. There's nothing else in there. The highlight of their day was they got to go outside. This is the first time that Nellie saw patients from the extreme ward. They were actually connected to a rope chain, which was attached to a heavy iron cart, which attached all the women to each other. Some of those women were just sobbing uncontrollably. Some of them were nursing pretty serious injuries to legs, hips, you name it. For lunch, they were only given hard pieces of black bread, which were clearly stale. To add more fuel to the fire, Nellie found a spider in hers. Yeah. This is when Nellie started to realize the true extent of the problems here. And so there was this woman called Mrs. Grady. She muttered and talked to herself constantly. They considered her like the most annoying patient because she just wouldn't stop. Whenever they got that itch, they just used her and beat her because she was an easy target. They'd take her into a closet and repeatedly beat her until she stopped muttering and just ended up completely silent. Every time they came up and touched her, she always just begged. She said, please stop beating me. Please stop beating me. I'll be good. I'll be good. And that is just, that's tough. One of the worst punishments that they tended to inflict on the patients was they would put a sheet around the girl's head and they tied it super tight so that she couldn't scream. They would hold her underwater until the woman kind of gave up hope and became senseless. At one point in time, a girl actually died from this, and the doctors put in the report that she just died of convulsions. Another thing that was really common was women would apply for aid because they were penniless, they had nothing. This would cause them to get interred in the insane asylum. That's it. That's all it took. That was a surprisingly easy way to get cheap labor. After all these experiences, Nellie actually did intend to get transferred to the violent wards because she wanted to get the full experience to know what these women truly went through. But after hearing from two sane women who had been in there and told about their experiences there, she came to the conclusion that this was a massive risk to her health and safety. She could never complete the full experiment. She never actually got to know how bad it was in the worst parts of the asylum. Immediately upon release, she took the asylum to court. The city of New York agreed to pay $1 million per year, which was a lot of money back then, towards care for the insane. It was a landslide. She eventually published this as a report, which became a book later on called 10 Days in a Madhouse. And that, my friends, is the story of Nellie Bly. But this woman led a multicultural, dynamic, powerful life.